Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses poll rally at Nizamabad in Telangana. Bharatiya Janata Party releases its election manifesto for Rajasthan. All arrangements in place for tomorrow's polling in Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram Assembly elections. Polling underway for fourth phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Over 60% polling recorded in Jammu division till noon. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists killed and an army soldier martyred in 2 encounters in South Kashmir. An opening ceremony of Men's Hockey World Cup to be held in Bhubaneswar this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a poll rally at Nizamabad in Telangana today. He said those who believe in development and building new India and new Telangana trust BJP the most. He criticized Telangana Chief Minister and his family for lack of development in Telangana. He urged people of Telangana to teach a lesson to the TRS government in Telangana.
साथियों, तेलंगाना को 4.5 साल हो गए. ये सरकार 4.5 साल से उसने क्या काम किया? ये चुनाव सरकार से पाई का पल पल का हिसाब मांगने का चुनाव है. जिन्होंने यहाँ के नौजवानों को, यहाँ के किसानों को, यहाँ के दलित, पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचितों को, आदिवासियों को तेज गति से विकास का भरोसा दिया था, वो अपने वायदों पर खरे नहीं उतरे हैं. उन्हें इस चुनाव में ये जनता जनार्दन ने सबक सिखाना चाहिए.
He will address a public meeting at Mehboob town later this afternoon. More from our correspondent.
Poll prospects in Mehboob and Nizamabad have become crucial for local leadership as BJP lost several seats by a thin margin last time. BJP is in the fray in 10 out of 11 seats from the 2 districts as the nomination papers of the BJP candidate were rejected in Kerala. Meanwhile, all major parties including TRS, People's Alliance and even Nationalist Congress Party and BSP are focusing on Mehboob which made the contest a multi-cornered one. Meanwhile, TRS Supremo Chandrasekhar Rao is also holding an election rally in Mehboob today, while BSP President Mayawati will be campaigning in 2 days. Suresh Lakshmi, AIR News from Mehboob.
The BJP today released its manifesto for the December 7 Rajasthan polls, saying it had met 95% of the promises it had made in 2013. The manifesto was unveiled by Union Ministers Arun Jaitley and Prakash Javadekar and Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje in the presence of BJP leaders and workers in Jaipur. More from our correspondent.
In the manifesto, BJP has promised to provide 30,000 jobs every year and creating 50 lakh employment opportunities in 5 years. It has promised to create loan waiver commission at each division headquarters. Promise is made to develop at least 1 yoga center in each district, rural startup fund with 250 crore rupees and cooperative loans worth 1 lakh crore rupees in 5 years. Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje said that the steps will be taken towards universal health insurance also. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Madhya Pradesh, all arrangements are in place for tomorrow's assembly elections. The main contest is between the ruling BJP and opposition Congress. More than 5 crore voters are eligible to decide the fate of 2,899 candidates, including 250 women, in the fray for the election of 230 seats of Madhya Pradesh Assembly. As many as 650 companies of Central Security Forces have been deployed for peaceful voting. More from our correspondent.
The VVPAT machines will be used with EVMs at first time in all the polling booths in Madhya Pradesh Assembly elections. VVPAT machine will display slip for 7 seconds after pressing the button of EVM against the name of contestant of the voter's liking. This will indicate contestant's name, number and election symbol, which will help voter to confirm that his/her vote goes to right candidate. The slip will fall in the drop box of VVPAT with a beep ensuring that vote has been registered. A total of 3,782 workers have been posted at 65,367 polling centers to conduct assembly election, including more than 45,000 female workers. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Mizoram is now counting hours for polling, which will begin at 7 a.m. and close at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Chief Electoral Officer, CEO Ashish Kundra said the number of eligible voters is around 7,70,000, including 3,94,000 female voters. More from our correspondent.
Chief Electoral Officer Ashish Kundra said all arrangements are ready to conduct free, fair and peaceful election tomorrow. This morning across state, 1,300 polling parties have collected polling materials and began proceeding to polling stations. 176 polling parties assigned for remote polling stations proceeded yesterday to their places of duty. CEO Kundra said that there are 3,915 physically challenged voters, and for them arrangements are in place under accessible elections. Braille epic for the blind voters have been distributed yesterday. Also, all women-controlled polling booths being named after a flower has been set up in each of all polling stations. Irene, AIR News, Aizawl.
In Jammu and Kashmir, polling for the fourth phase of Panchayat election, which began at 8 a.m. amid stringent security arrangements, is going on smoothly. The elections are being held in 9 phases across the state. In Jammu division, polling started on a brisk note with people standing in queues at many places. In the fourth phase polling, 99 Sarpanch and 969 Panch have been elected unopposed, while voting is taking place on the remaining 339 Sarpanch and 1,749 Panch seats, for which 5,470 candidates are in the fray. A report.
By 12, over 64% votes were polled in Ramban district of Jammu division, followed by 63% in Poonch, Kishtwar over 62%, over 61% in Kathua district, Jammu over 58%, Rajouri over 57%, Udhampur 52% and over 50% in Doda district. In Kashmir Valley, maximum votes were polled in district Baramulla, where above 50% polling was recorded by 12. In border district of Kupwara, above 43% votes were polled. In Badgam district, above 37% polling was recorded during the first 4 hours. R.K. Rana for AIR News from Jammu.
President Ramnath Kovind today said India is always ready to support the socio-economic development of Maldives. He said India and Maldives enjoy a unique, special, close and friendly relationship. Mr. Kovind said India's vision of inclusive development also extends to our neighborhood, including Maldives. Foreign Affairs Minister of Maldives, Abdullah Shahid, today called on President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists were killed and an army soldier martyred in 2 encounters at Kulgam and Tral areas in South Kashmir. The encounters broke out after launch of cordon and search operations in the wee hours today. 2 personnel of paramilitary forces also sustained injuries in the Kulgam operation. Talking to AIR News Srinagar, IG Swayam Prakash Pani said,
कुलगाम में कराल में जिसमें टोटल 3 आतंकवादी जो है मारे गए हैं। 2 आतंकवादी जो कुलगाम में मारे गए हैं उनका वाबस्ता लश्कर तोयबा के साथ था और इस एनकाउंटर में एक जवान की शहादत रही है। कराल में जो ऑपरेशन है वो खत्म हो गया, उसमें एक मिलिटेंट मारा गया, उसके आइडेंटिटीज और अदर डिटेल अभी हम वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं।
Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today said DRDO should refocus to play more active role in research and development. Launching mission Raksha Gyan Shakti in New Delhi to boost intellectual property in defence sector, Mrs. Sitharaman said the purpose of this mission is to increase self-reliance by reducing the transfer of technology and dependence on foreign companies for technologies. She said there is keenness among people to return from Silicon Valley and do startups in India.
A lot of young minds to come back to India, even from Silicon Valley, and say, I'll do the startups job here. I'd rather be in this country and do it here. Although the opportunities abroad are far more inviting for them. But I've heard this and I've also seen many of them come back. In fact, I've tried to facilitate to an extent the policy that has to help the startups, and therefore I can tell you the world has already seen people come back to India and start their initiatives as startups because they want to do something new, they want to do something which is innovative enough, and that therefore would help the country to be a better manufacturing hub.
Minister of State for Home Kiren Rijiju today said half of the battle against the disasters would be won by increasing disaster awareness and improving early warning systems. He was inaugurating the 14th Foundation Day of National Disaster Management Authority in New Delhi. Mr. Rijiju said increased human activities has led to the hampering of the environment tremendously and also increased the risk of climate change and disasters. He said, today the world cannot ignore India when it comes to disaster risk reduction because we have come a long way in disaster management.
The disaster is something which can be prevented. It's not the relief, rehabilitation, rescue, but it can be prevented if we understand this subject very well. So globally the outlook has changed, and here also the subject was placed to Home Ministry, and with the formation of NDMA, we have many more important pillars like NITM, NDRF, and many more organizations associated with this matter.
The Supreme Court today has pulled up the Bihar government for not taking action on sodomy of children at 14 shelter homes in Muzaffarpur under the relevant law. The court added that the government is trying to save the culprits. Referring to the victims, the court asked that are they not citizens of this country? The sodomy cases had been filed under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences or POCSO Act and not under Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code, which the top court said was not the correct way to handle the case. The Supreme Court further added that it will be proper to hand over the case to CBI. Bihar Assembly today witnessed an uproar with the opposition RJD raising the issue of law and order situation in the state. Soon after the assembly proceedings began, the leader of opposition, Tejasvi Prasad Yadav, urged Speaker Vijay Kumar Chaudhary to take up a discussion on law and order, suspending all other businesses. The Speaker asked opposition members to cooperate to conduct the question hour. Opposition members, including RJD, Congress and Left, trooped into the well and started raising slogans. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Shravan Kumar charged them with breaking rules. Amid noisy scenes, the Speaker adjourned the House till 2 p.m. On the 10th anniversary of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks yesterday, President Donald Trump said, US stands with the people of India in their quest for justice. In a tweet, Mr. Trump said the attack killed 166 innocents, including 6 Americans. He added, Washington will never let terrorists win or even come close to winning. Earlier, the US announced $5 million reward for information leading to the arrest or conviction in any country of any individual who committed, conspired, aided or abetted the 2008 Mumbai attack. The 14th edition of Men's Hockey World Cup tournament is beginning in Bhubaneswar from this afternoon, followed by inaugural ceremony. This is the third time in India and first time in Bhubaneswar that the prestigious tournament is going to be held from 28th of November to 16 December. On the inaugural stage in Kalinga Stadium, 8 groups of classical dancers will perform. Cine stars like Madhuri Dixit, Shah Rukh Khan, A.R. Rahman will be the main attraction. Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik will inaugurate the ceremony in Kalinga Stadium this afternoon. Our correspondent reports.
On the event of Men's Hockey World Cup Tournament inaugural function, the Odisha government has declared holiday for today for educational institutions in capital city area Bhubaneswar. All educational and financial institutions in state will remain closed after 1:30 p.m. today. Hockey fever has completely gripped the capital city Bhubaneswar. All the preparations for match have been completed. Kalinga Stadium has been decorated like a colorful bride with light and flower plants. The Odisha government has spent nearly 100 crore rupees for renewing an infrastructure. For AIR from Bhubaneswar.
International Film Festival of India or IFFI in Goa is screening 2 films on tiger conservation. These are Gyamo, Queen of the Mountains and Machli, the world's most famous tiger. In cricket, Indian wrist spinner Kuldeep Yadav has entered the top 5 of the ICC T20 rankings for bowlers for the first time. Yadav, who bagged 4 wickets in the recently concluded T20 series against Australia, jumped a whopping 20 places to claim the 3rd position in the latest rankings released yesterday. In the team rankings, Pakistan continues to top the table, followed by India and England. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses poll rally at Nizamabad in Telangana. Bharatiya Janata Party releases its election manifesto for Rajasthan. All arrangements in place for tomorrow's polling in Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram Assembly elections. Polling underway for 4th phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Over 60% polling recorded in Jammu division till noon. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists killed and an army soldier martyred in 2 encounters in South Kashmir. An opening ceremony of Men's Hockey World Cup to be held in Bhubaneswar this evening. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. With that, we end the midday news.